Hello and welcome to a new video here on my channel, here at Comaik. Soon I will be installing a pool liner in our new pool here. Install and then finally fill it with water. Of course, some preparations were necessary beforehand. I recently plastered the walls and installed the pool technology, preparing the pool electrical system, connecting the heating and of course the piping. Brought up to date. If you want to know what I did to the pool to prepare for the installation of the liner, then stay tuned. It will start shortly. About a year ago, there was still a steel wall pool in this spot. I had this steel wall pool. I tore everything out and replaced it with a masonry pool. In the last video, you saw what the pool looked like in its raw state. In the meantime, I have the walls plastered. Why? Quite clear. A pool liner is to be applied to the wall here. Originally, it was planned to treat the walls with polyurea. This is a mixture that is sprayed on a type of epoxy resin or rubber with which the walls are sealed. Unfortunately, however, a problem arises. You can see this problem here at this line. Despite being 30 cm thick and triple, a reinforced floor slab has developed a stress crack here last summer. This stress crack is not further problematic from a static perspective. I have informed myself about it. I am confident I am still not sure if I am allowed to work with a coating. For this reason, we will now install a pool liner after all. Originally, the components were for example, the inlet nozzles were designed to be installed for a coating. That means I had to apply an incredible amount of plaster here, up to 1.5 cm around the pool wall, to bring inwards and to align flush with the nozzles, which I had already installed early on, to the wall. This has happened in the last few weeks. You can see that the plaster is running a bit to the halfway through. It sticks out a little there, it is a bit bulging, but that doesn't bother me. The cover of the inlet nozzles will later be flush with the wall. The liner will be installed here, hung or welded. Only this white area remains visible, clearly, but it is more exciting on this side. Here, I had to plaster almost 2 cm. cm is quite a lot. You can see here how much has been added in total during the plastering. The first layer was initially applied and a reinforcing mesh was plastered on. The next day, a second layer was applied. On the third day, the wall was smoothed. The work was certainly exciting. I didn't want to work with plaster rails. Instead, I have actually incorporated weedy boards. Can you hear it? In this area, narrow strips were used. Made from construction panels, from weedy panels, installed. They had the right depth and were first glued to the wall. Then the plaster was applied and smoothed out. With the two. In this case, the reinforcing mesh was also embedded in the base plaster and everything was smoothed out. I have already installed the skimmer cover and the other components. When the liner, all components should be on site when it comes. I have only hand tightened the screws. I would like that no parts are missing later. The same applies to the lamp pot of the pool spotlight. The installation niche was also plastered. You can still see the reinforcement mesh on the side here, which was also installed. Here I have already threaded a wire to then later to be able to pull the cable from the underwater spotlight better through the wall. The conduit runs opposite the other side. The surface of the platform and the steps were also plastered and finished with a smooth and even layer of plaster, ensuring a consistent finish. Reinforced with a reinforcement mesh. Afterwards, everything was smoothed out. There are some places like this at the edge that are not perfect. Here, tread edges are being installed. That shouldn't be a problem later on. Once the liner is installed, it won't be visible later. Man more. The interior of the pool is now prepared enough for the liner to be welded in. A lot has happened on the walls. The walls have been prepared and the liner will be welded. In 2 weeks it will be time. I am really excited. You will see, the floor is wet. What happened? Quite clear. I didn't just connect the fittings in the pool. The walls and so on were prepared, but there was also quite a bit to do outside the pool. Pipes from the inlet were framed. The area behind it still comes from the steel wall pool. What one can see at the half curvature, this area is to be filled with concrete. Later, a terrace can be built over this area. This way I can pour the area and still have to keep the pipes clear. I may need to revisit this later. I set this formwork. I will fill in that area and then fill it with concrete. Also on the southeast side, quite a bit has happened. In this area, I installed the skimmer and the inlets and outlets for the pool. Here are also the water pipes for my lawn irrigation system and the necessary control cables and electrical work, everything that the old BPC wooden terrace originally ran into the pool house about this pool area. If you want to know what it used to look like, then take a look in the corner above. There, I will link you to the playlist on pool construction in detail. I securely and carefully connected the flexible hose that connects the skimmer to my pump, ensuring a tight fit, just under 3. I was able to shorten the hose by 1 meter. There you can see the black pool hose that comes out of the wall. Behind it is my sand filter system, which is or my glass filter system with the overflow. As soon as I backwash the filter, the excess water will be released, pumped through this hose. The hose runs through empty conduits under the lawn, up to the sewage channel. By the way, I have also included the outdoor kitchen here. From there, here comes the pipe. It goes down and takes the pool hose with it via the branch. The wastewater is conveyed through the 38mm pool hose, and I still need to prepare the electrical work. And I have here the distributor from the old steel wall pool for the LED underwater spotlight. The threading wire comes out of the green hose. I will shorten the hose here. I will pull the rubber cable from my LED spotlight. By the way, I no longer have the original LED spotlight. Instead, I bought a new spotlight. The old one had some rust spots from the steel wall. The new one, the spotlight, is a halogen spotlight. I will still modify it, and with a replace RGB LED bulbs. I will show you the conversion in another video soon. Above. Find the link you can see under the video in the description. There you will find, here is the playlist for the project with all the videos, the inlet and outlet for my solar mats, which I have also tested what is on my firewood shelves. The piping is over. The years have faded a bit. Rust is also visible in some places. I have the pipes filled with water and tested. Unfortunately, there were problems here for heating the pool. I use EPDM mats. These mats have served me very well in the past. A total of nearly 24 MEB2 of solar heating ensures that I can heat the pool water up to 30 degrees C without any problems. Could heat up. I can recommend these mats to you if there weren't a problem. Namely, this. Here you can see these small holes. I had these holes over the years as well in some other mats. I have already cut the mat apart. The martins, the birds and the cats, whatever, love to peck in here and to bite. When I turn on the water, a small trickle comes out of this hole. On the other side, there is a fountain that is just about approximately 1 meter high. I stopped these fountains by, I initially clamped the mat with a screw and 2 large washers. I will soon repair the mat with a suitable connector. I have done this several times already. Made. You can find the corresponding video in the top right corner. There you can watch it. How you can easily repair these solar mats without having to replace everything. You can see it. The mats are quite scattered on the roof here. Parts of the solar mats have been damaged over time. Time has fallen down. These mats have not been in use for almost 2 years. Although I have attached these metal struts to secure the mats, the mats were shifted piece by piece. I will of course fix that before the live operation starts. So you see, next to my outdoor kitchen, which is also slowly. Now that the shape has been taken, we can finally continue with the pool. I hope you stay loyal to me. Click the subscribe button below so you don't miss the next video. What interests you? What else should I possibly film before the liner is installed? Let me know in the comments below. In the comments section, what interests you particularly? Give me feedback on it. Ideas? Thank you for watching, and don't forget to check the video description. There is a lot more information available. Following that, there is a photo gallery. Make sure to check it out. It's really exciting. Until next time, take care. Bye.